I had to bring this up. Somebody sent this to me in the email. Somebody sent this to me in the email. Somebody sent this to me in my email. Umar Johnson, 3-time Johnson. Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. I will be on Rumble starting next month. I will be streaming on Rumble also. Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. What is going on with this? Are y'all not watching a Wednesday night show? Are y'all not watching a Wednesday night show where I am breaking down exactly how it is that you vet effectively for a wife and how wives are supposed to be operating under the submission and the advocating for their husbands? Have y'all not been tuning into the Wednesday night show? I'm going to be live streaming tonight on the Anton Daniels channel. Every Wednesday night, I go live, and I'm going to be live streaming, and I'm going to be having a conversation with you guys, helping you to level up and showing you what it takes in order to vet effectively. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to show you why you need to be tuning into the Wednesday night show. Let's get into it.
To all of my ladies in the dating pool, let me show you how to redirect your way out of a low budget experience. Okay, this is a potential suitor. He has no number saved because period. Y'all already know how I roll. Good morning. It was.
Yo, I have a question. Before we get into this, what is this period thing? Just curious. Been hearing it for years. I know it's a black woman thing. I've seen a few white women use it also, out of context, but I've seen a few white women use it. What is this whole period in the middle of a run-on sentence? Just curious. What is this period thing in the middle of a run-on sentence? Because you know how I period roll. Why do y'all say that? You do know that makes you more annoying. Or does it? Because when y'all sent me this video, apparently she's a person that has a lot of followers. So, for example, and I have not seen this yet, but somebody said that I needed to react to it. Says, good morning. It was great speaking to you last night. I woke up so refreshed. I would love to take you to coffee this week. Does Wednesday work? So it sounds like a man that has his stuff together. He's been listening to the Wednesday night show. He know that Anton says that you are not supposed to be spending no money, practically $0 in order to vet a woman effectively. And if she does not fall under your covering, if she is not cool with it, if all she's there for is to get you and label you as food in her phone, then it is easy to be able to vet out these women, but they're making adjustments. Guess what? These same women are watching the Wednesday night show along with you, and they're ghost watchers, and they're making adjustments, and they're now making videos to then be able to finesse you in other ways. And so we have to make adjustments also. You got to adjust to the adjustment. You got to adjust to the adjustment. So he already gave her a compliment. First thing that he shouldn't have did. He already told her that it was great speaking to her last night. Nope. He already told her that he woke up so refreshed just from a conversation. You refreshed? Too many compliments. You done already baked this girl's weave up too much. But let's see what she got to say.
It was great speaking with you last night. I woke up so refreshed. I would love to take you to coffee this week. Does Wednesday work? Okay. You cannot take me to coffee or tea on the first date. It's not equitable for me. I don't drink coffee and my perfume costs too much. So don't play. All right. So I hail from corporate America. We're going to use the sandwich effect here. 6 years in the C-suite. We about to use this. Okay. Boom.
So here's my question. I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm not saying that she's not absolutely positively telling the truth. But here's my question. Do you believe for 1 second that this woman has spent 6 years in the C-suite in any role other than a secretary in which she had the code switch to survive? Just curious. Do you believe that this woman has spent 6 years in the C-suite of any company outside of a record label? Do you believe that this woman was in corporate America spending 6 years in a C-suite, controlling, directing, managing people, making sure that she's going over budgets, that everybody is green lit, that we don't have any projects that's in the red, that everybody is participating in their transitioning over from a waterfall to an agile methodology, that they're making sure that they're moving projects along and that they have a completely different philosophy and they're evolving over into making sure that they're project focused instead of being product focused. Do you think that this woman in any way, shape, or form has operated in a C-suite for the last 6 years and that she was successful doing it? Just curious. I'm not saying that she didn't. I'm just saying that I'm using my context clues in order to draw a conclusion. Let's continue. She says she's going to use a sandwich method. I've never heard of it before. As far as dating, let's see how she implements it.
I say, good morning. It was great speaking with you also. It's actually restaurant week coming up. Here's the link. Let me know which one you decide. I'm looking forward to it. So we're going to start off with something good, okay? It was great speaking with you also. I'm not even addressing the coffee, baby. We're going to redirect you in the middle, then I'm going to end with something great saying, I'm looking forward to seeing you. We're also putting the ball back in his court because he's a grown-ass man, okay? You need to make the decision. So he goes, I just looked over the options. Let's do Italian. Perfect. So he goes, Wednesday at 7 p.m. I'm like, works for me. I'm in Alexandria and I'm not far. If you could pick me up or send me an Uber, that would be awesome, because why would you want me working on cobblestone? Why would you want me looking for parking? Sounds laborious to me. He goes, no problem. I'll send an Uber around 6:15. Baby is a new man. He is a new man. And I go, wonderful. Thank you. Ask for what you want. Be polite in your ass. Be a little bit difficult and always say please and thank you.
Y'all see the finesse? Do you see the finesse? They're giving you their blueprint for how it is that they're going to operate within this entire relationship, interaction, situationship, and he just fell right into it. Y'all watched the Wednesday night show last week, and then you completely forgot about what it is that I told you once she sent you a link to Restaurant Week. Y'all operated and y'all just completely lost it. And this is why I got to continue to do Wednesday night shows. I'm not happy about having to spend my Wednesday night on teaching y'all how to operate and vet out a woman effectively. And so he responded because he operating out of duress instead of operating out of abundance. If you've had multiple different women, yo, I wish I could show y'all in real time. I can't show you in real time because then you're going to be criticizing me and you're going to be feeling in some type of way because you're going to say, Anton been married for the last 20 years. Well, Anton can actually give you the game if you understood how to move a little bit differently. And if I showed you it in real time, or I was actually showing you what the fuck was happening in my DMs, you would feel a little bit different about how it is that you operate here. Let me tell you something. The first thing he should have did was just absolutely ignored it. Acted like he never got the text message in the first place. Act like he never got the text message in the first place. He should have never even responded. First of all, let me back up a little bit. He should have never complimented her. Most dudes that's really about that life, I'm about to give y'all the game. We don't even text like that. You can't get in touch with me on no text message. What you talking about? Everything, because text messages can be misinterpreted. You can't really hear the tone. You can't read the body language. And don't you know that communication is 90% body language? So you can't really even feel my masculinity and you can't hear what it is that I'm telling you because you so focused on text messages. Don't you know I come from a sales background? I'm not texting back and forth with you so that A, you can have some form of evidence, and then B, you can't communicate effectively with me so that you can understand exactly what it is. No, I'm not even responding to you. I'm not going to compliment you. I'm not going to respond to you. I'm not sending you a message first. I'm not doing any of that because I'm busy. I'm busy. Secondly, any woman that then don't even recognize or acknowledge the fact that you invited her out for coffee in the first place is a red flag. Let her go. So many of y'all are trying to overcome obstacles. One of the first lessons in sales is that people do things because they like you, not necessarily because you got the best product. They have to like you, meaning that they'll do anything for you, even if they don't necessarily agree with what it is that you're selling them, just because they like you, and they'll learn to love it simply because you've been effective in your communication. They have to learn to like you, right? That's the first rule of sales. The second rule of sales is law of averages. Now, some of you may not be familiar with this because you don't know what sales is. You've never had a sales background, and you don't know what it means to grind and hustle. Law of averages means that you don't spend an extraordinary amount of time around people that you cannot close or is not going to be best for what it is that you're doing from a business perspective. Meaning that if you have a lot of options, why spend an extraordinary amount of time around people that will not go in the direction that you're trying to take them? You're not paying attention. You're not paying attention. Everything you do in this lifetime is sales. Everything you do in this lifetime is sales. When you tell your kid to go to school and be a good girl, you're basically selling them on the idea of them doing a thing that's in their own best interest, even if they don't know it. Law of averages, meaning that you want to spend the majority of your time where you appreciate it, not necessarily where you're tolerated. Why would you spend your time around somebody or people trying to overcome objections? And that's one of the things that they try to teach you in sales, but you have to spend a limited amount of time. The only time you want to try to overcome objection is when you're trying to get past the gatekeeper. You're already there. She already knows whether or not she want to do business with you. She already knows whether or not she want to have sex with you. She already knows whether or not she's going to put you on her phone as food. Why do you want to try to overcome objection and slot yourself differently instead of controlling the narrative and then focusing on the rules of what it takes in order to manifest greatness when it comes to getting the results? Everything is sales. Everything is sales. You're not going to get there by being extra nice. You're not going to get there by being extra complimentary. You're not going to get there by spending an extraordinary amount of time trying to change her ways. She's showing you who she is. She's showing you exactly what it is that she's going to do. She's already ignored exactly what it is that you said that you wanted to do. And then she's saying that I need you to take a leadership role in picking a restaurant that I selected for you. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. She's still operating in her masculinity because she said that I don't like what it is that you're leading me towards. I'm going to select what I'm going to allow for you to select for me based off of what my preferences are. You pick. That's not you leading. That's you being a simp. That's not you being in your masculinity. That's you being feminine. That's you being led. That's you being controlled. That's you being finessed out of all of your money and all of your bags only for her to go and then give that box up to the dude that she really likes and the one that she was going to give it up to in the first place. This ain't Wednesday night. I'm sorry. The question that I have to ask you guys, and this is going for the ladies, because I got a whole sermon that I'm going to develop for my fellas tonight. And I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to get there. Wednesday night, I'm going to develop the sermon for y'all. Ladies, y'all can tune in. Make sure that you have your husband tune in so he can lead you correctly. But here's a question for my ladies as we go over into the next part of this show. The second half of the show is beginning shortly. Shout out to the new me. Shout out to the new me, Michaela. I love you. I'm going to be reading these super chats shortly. Here's my question to you ladies. Don't you understand that low budget dates actually allow for you to see who the person is that you truly trying to get your submission, give your submission to? Don't you realize that it's nothing that you can learn from a man that's sitting across from you at the dinner table that's feeding you Italian food? Don't you realize that the person that invites you over, because most dudes that I know that wind up going on a date with a woman that he's actually vetting for marriage and he's worth his salt, meaning that he's a high value man, is not leading with his money in order to get her. He's actually the dude that you should be talking to so you can more effectively see if that's the person that you should be doing business with. But because women are so short-sighted, they'd rather take a meal than get the $4,000 in order to do the thing that they really wanted to do, like my chick called me and asked me for earlier in this live stream. You rather get $150 meal than get $1 million worth of game in real life. Think about that shit. You cutting off your nose. You hurting yourself. She's giving such bad advice because she's advising you guys to do the thing that's worse for you and play along with the simp that's going to feed her a $150 meal as though that's meaningful when she can get the whole shebang. You short-sighted. And that's the question that I have for the women. Why are you taking dog food when you can get the whole fucking shebang? What if you went and got some hot chocolate because you said that you don't like coffee? You'll go get some fucking tea. What if you went and got some tea and then that allowed for you to really be able to get into the bag? Because you may not even want to date the dude, but you may want to have this guy as a part of your network. But if he ever realizes that he got finessed, you cut off forever. So why wouldn't you then make sure that you treat everybody with a level of respect, go out and enjoy it, have a good time, build, be able to have conversations about things that's outside of just what it is that you used to talking about before you get bust down. And then you then make sure that you connect with a person and you maintain that great relationship and that great rapport over a period of time. Even if you guys wind up not getting together or you wind up not getting into a relationship, you still maintain that rapport that allows for you to then present yourself in a good light, and then you have a connection for the rest of your life. But because we so short-sighted and because we so busy trying to finesse each other, we don't understand that you actually hurting yourself versus helping yourself by then putting yourself in the best position possible to be looked at as a person that is of value to the person that you're having a conversation with. You don't really want to have the conversation. You don't really want to vet people out effectively. You don't even really know if this dude was supposed to be your husband, but you were so busy trying to finesse him and you trying to lead him down this path of destruction, and you teaching other women to think the same type of way. All you doing is hurting them. You're not helping them. You're not putting yourself in the best position possible. Nobody that has ever met me in person, not one person that has ever met me in person, can ever say that I am not one of the most genuine, helpful, pour into you, add value into your life first before you ever even have a conversation with me. And that's why the people are so loyal. That's why the people rock with me. That's why I haven't applied for a job since like 2010. All of the positions came to me. That's why the position that I have today in corporate America that makes me a huge bag, if you want to see my W-2, go over to the Patreon, link is in the description, is always giving opportunities for me to turn down versus me having a petition for it. And it's because I think differently. I understand the importance of building relationships, not doing people wrong, not doing people dirty. And that applies to every single aspect of your life, especially with regard to your relationship, because the person that you lay next to every day, even if it's just for that night, is one of the most important business decisions that you're ever going to make in your entire life. Don't be short-sighted. And don't let no woman ever give you dating advice. She can't help you. She gonna ruin your life and she gonna mess it up for you because you're so busy focusing on whether or not she putting a period before her run-on sentence instead of having a conversation based off of what's in your own best interest. You trying to be out here trying to finesse for a date at Ruth Chris, or you trying to find a husband and you trying to find a network of people that's going in the direction that you're going in. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you tap into the Patreon.